Welcome to the 2030 webinar series. This is the 7th installment, Profile Management, how it works, and why it's beneficial for everyone to use. The agenda for today consists of going over what the session is about. We'll be going over what profile management is, how it works, and its added benefits. We'll also go over BearBuy resources and support. And then lastly, questions and answers. This session is intended for all BearBuy users. It's only 30 minutes long, with the first 15 minutes going over profile management, and the last 15 minutes solely dedicated to questions and answers. Now let's get started. So what is profile management? Profile management is a BFS tool that is used to maintain BearBuy user profiles. A profile management admin can set org nodes, speed types, chart string values, authorizers, ship-to addresses, and etc., which will all update the user profile in BearBuy. So in BFS, this is how the UC Profile Management tool looks like. So how does this tool work? In order to use the tool, you'll have to have the appropriate access. So in order to be able to access and manage profiles, you must have the profile management role requested through the Systems Access Request application, also known as SARA. There is no restriction on who can perform this function. It's up to the department to designate a profile management admin for their department and/or unit. So when in SARA, this is how the screen will appear. You'll have to select the checkbox right next to Profile Management, and then select the Make Request button. From here, you'll have to submit your request to your department approval, and once approval has been made, the system administrator will grant the access, and you should receive an email confirmation. So once access has been granted, the profile management admin can manage users' profile in a group setting or individual profile setting. Let's go over both of these settings right now. With group profiles, departments can set up a group profile to provide a standard set of preferred values to several individuals in a unit. So what this means is that the profile management admin creates one profile and then adds individuals to this group, therefore considering this a group profile. So the profile management admin will only have to enter the default or desired values once and then add individuals to this group. So once any of these individuals log into BearBuy, any one of these individuals within this group will have the same defaults or same desired values populate in BearBuy. A single user with an individual profile cannot be included in a group profile. So what this means is, let's say I have my own individual profile and someone else wants to add me to a group profile. BFS will not let that profile management admin add me to that group since an individual profile for me already exists. Similar to that, a single user can only be part of one group profile. So if I'm already in one existing group, someone else cannot add me to their existing group. My profile can only be managed within one group. For individual profiles, departments can set up individual profiles to provide a standard set of preferred values to each individual in a unit. A single user included in a group profile cannot also have an individual profile. So again, if my profile is managed within a group, I cannot have an independent individual profile. I can only have one or the other. So with that, a single user can only be set with an individual profile or only part of one group profile. So when looking at the tool, this is how a group profile will look like when you need to set it up or update it. There will be a UC Profile Management tab on the top and a Group Members tab right next to it. Individual profiles look quite similar. The only difference is that there is no Group Members tab, and the individual's associated CalNet, employee, or student ID will populate in the front page. So different departments set up profiles differently. Some find it easier to set up group profiles since a set group of people will have all the same defaults. Other departments set up unique individual profiles for everyone in the unit. One reason maybe is that every individual has different ship-to addresses and every individual needs to have that address defaulted to their profile. There's also cases where there's a hybrid of both. Some individuals are set up in a group, while other individuals within that same department are set up with individual profiles. So it's up to the department and the profile management admin to determine which of the two should be used when setting up profiles for their department. So once a profile is created, either group or individual, the profile management admin can set up profiles with the department's preferred or most commonly used values. Profiles can be set up for employees, affiliates, or graduate work-study students. So here are a couple screenshots of what some of these fields look like. Some of the fields are org node, chart of accounts, ship to location, and cart authorizer. These are just some fields that can be populated for these profiles. There are a couple more, but these are the main ones that we've seen heavily used on campus. So all the changes made by the profile management admin are recorded for audit purposes. So this is what the audit trail will look like when updating or creating a profile in BFS. The audit trail will update with the user ID associated to the individual who last updated the profile, as well as the time and date of that update. Once the profiles are created and or updated in BFS and saved, the information will transmit to BearBuy. So the next time the user logs into BearBuy, they will see the new default settings. One thing to keep in mind is if the individual, let's say a shopper, had created a cart before their profile was created, the new defaults will not populate on that cart. Instead, the new values will only auto-populate on carts created after my profile was set up. One thing to keep in mind is that in BearBuy, if there are values in a profile, it does not prevent the end user from selecting from the entire set of values for that field. The option to select from profile values or from all values will exist. So what this means is that even though I am set up with profile management, meaning that there's a set of default values that automatically populate to my cart, I can still go ahead and edit those values to change them to something completely different. The option to change those values is there. But if what has been defaulted is correct, there's no need for me to edit that field. Another thing to keep in mind is that BFS Profile Management will override any profile setup in BearBuy. BFS Profile Management will update BearBuy immediately when saved. So what this means is that let's say I am a shopper and I don't know if my profile is managed via Profile Management, so I go ahead and enter some defaults in my profile in BearBuy. So the next time I log in, I notice that what I entered was removed. That's because my profile is managed via Profile Management. So whatever is in Profile Management will override anything I enter in my profile in BearBuy. If I need to update any of these fields, say my profile keeps defaulting to the incorrect ship to, I will then need to contact my Profile Management admin and ask them to update that field for me. So if your department chooses to use profile management, this workflow demonstrates the profile management setup process that we actually just went over. So if your department chooses to utilize profile management and say you're the profile management admin, the question you need to ask yourself is the shopper's profile set up in BFS profile management? If the answer is yes, whether they be set up in a group profile or individual profile, then the shopper can continue with the BearBuy purchasing business process. If the answer is no, then the shopper can then request the department's profile management admin to set up their profile using BFS profile management. Once the profile management admin receives the request, the admin will then enter the profile for the shopper in BFS, either adding the shopper to a group profile or creating the shopper's unique individual profile. The profile management admin can then create the profile including the org node, speed type, ship to, chart of accounts, etc. Once saved, BearBuy is updated immediately. We then recommend the profile management admin to email the shopper that initiated the request, letting them know that their profile has been created using profile management. The shopper can then proceed with the BearBuy purchasing process. So what are the added benefits when using profile management? By using profile management, a department can provide their shopper community with customized drop-down lists and or default values in BearBuy. This results in a faster shopping experience in BearBuy. There's less values the shopper needs to remember or populate. There's accurate org node and chart string usage. And for units that have central receiving, accurate delivery locations are already populated on every cart. That concludes the profile management portion of this webinar. So hopefully that's helped in understanding what profile management is and why it's beneficial for everyone to use. Now let's go over BearBuy resources and support. We have developed profile management job aids. Since we didn't go over the actual clicking and steps and navigation on how to create the profile management in BFS, the job aids are there to assist first-time users in creating these profiles. The profile management job aids can be found on our BearBuy instructional resources page. They are located within our overview section. The URL address to that webpage is listed in front of you. We also have our BearBuy YouTube channel. There, we post all the functional demos we've created so far. To visit our YouTube channel, please go to youtube.com/user/BearBuy-procurement. If you need more assistance, please contact the BearBuy Help Desk. Their phone number, hours of operation, and email address is listed in front of you. Thanks for watching.